Hey everyone, welcome back to Bear's Workshop for our 246 flyover of the Nikola site in Coolidge, Arizona. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to quickly recap the stock, give everyone a chance to get on. We got 22 on, 11 likes. Hit the like button, please. It's free. We're no longer charging for you guys to hit the like button. So let's quickly take a look at the stock. I see someone from, I think, Korea is in the chat giving out the wrong stock price. I know it's only a penny, but get your facts straight. Get your facts straight. It's 238, not 237. And that does not mean that they are over with. It does not mean that they're done. That's what it means, is that the stock market is down for everyone, everywhere. 238. They opened at 230 after closing at 230. Tesla also is up today, but down hardcore. They were as low as 166 earlier in the week. So everything's been getting hit hard again. And it's not just those two, it's also Lucid, quite a few of the others. So we're hoping for a turnaround. We know good things are going to happen. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that with the price of Nikola at this incredibly low dollar amount, it is a deal. Goldman Sachs is buying up stock, and you never know when someone else is going to come along and say, you know what, this is a head start on something that we need, and it makes Nikola prime for a takeover or a buyout. So I'm not necessarily a big fan of that. I'd hate to see a buyout at like $5 a share. Typically buyouts are going to offer more, but that even $5 doesn't seem right. So I would not want to see something like that at this point, unless somebody can enlighten me on why it would be a good idea. So maybe a partnership with stock as part of the partnership. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens here. All right. Ted Prez says, "Smart man for deleting the comment." My man from Korea. Yeah, that was what I was referencing a moment ago. So let's see. Well, there we have the stock. We have Lucid stock. For those of you that care, finished at 10.25. They have stayed out of the $9 range, which they got really close. Oh no, they did 9.98. They did get under 10 a couple of days ago, so not great. I will say I got an email from Lucid today. Nothing related to the channel, of course, but my Lucid Air Pure is now ready for my order to be finalized, which I did. And on that screen for finalizing it to change my options, they did have the Phantom Blue color, which I'm going to slide over here and show it to you guys real quick before we get started, just so that you guys can see what it looks like. This was the blue, which was an option, and I elected not to take it. I'm glad I didn't, because right after this I got online, I saw a video of the blue at a studio, and it looked more gray, and the guy there was talking about the fact that it looked gray in the studio, but out in the sunlight it looks bluish. It has more blue to it. Well, frankly, I don't want a car that's going to look gray sometimes and blue other times. I want like a rich kind of blue. But this is what they have on their design studio, Phantom Blue. We ended up sticking with the red, which is what we got, which, not a quick website because it's not updating. But we did get the red. It's just not going to come up. Too bad. All right. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you guys. My Pure might be coming soon, sooner than later. I'm still waiting on my Mach-E, which was supposed to be here a week ago. So don't know why it's not here, but some sort of delay of some sort. But let's get to the video, because that's what you guys are here for. I know you are. All right, we're going to start that up and let that run its course. All right, that January 14th, they had 2 mirror sections done, and boy, has it changed now. In this video, you're going to see the full scale of the phase 2, and because all the steel is up, and you can just get a better idea of the size of the factory now. And you know what? It's bigger. Of course, it's bigger. What else is it going to be? But yeah, it's definitely, you can see how large it's going to get. And this is, if when they follow through with phase 3, this whole section of building that they have now is going to be doubled. Yeah, Doug says it's a good time to buy Tesla at these prices. I agree. I think Tesla is going to be a buy for a very, very long time, unless their stock price was to get up to 1,500. Then I don't know if I'd be buying. But at this price, I think it's an awesome price. And I still think Nikola at this price is an awesome price. If only I didn't spend all my money on hookers and blow, I would be buying Nikola. So unfortunately, that's where I'm at. So as we're coming in still on the north end. They're still working on Hauser Road. And we're going to see they have a large pile of trucks in this area right here. That amount is continuing to grow. And I think they're slowing down a little bit. I can't be sure. I think they're producing more FCEVs right now, because we did see quite a few FCEVs. And you'll see that in the video. But with these battery casings costing so much, I don't see any reason to push out as many as you can. I still think you can improve your production line and move things along with that. But if they're going to have new casings in the next couple of months, why produce the trucks when they're going to cost twice as much? So another one of those. We're going to have to see how it goes. Walterman, do we know what price Nikola will be selling the FCEV? I'm not sure if there is a firm price out there. So I'm not going to say I know what that is. We've got an FCEV right here. I'm going to move this fantastically ugly looking bar out of the way. This is an FCEV getting loaded onto a flatbed right there. So let's call that number 1. We've got the 3 rows of trucks. I'm not sure why these are parked like that, but so be it. And then we've got the new row coming up here. There hasn't been too many more additions right here in the last week. Up here we still have some cabs left over, and then there's a whole gluttony of cabs over here. But that is definitely an FCEV right here. And I think we have one over here on the left, right here, where my mouth is poorly tracking. You can see the big humpback right there. That is an FCEV of some sort. And there's several of them that look like that. And there is all the steel up and raised. Here's a couple battery electrics right here. These are some of the test trucks that have been running around for a while. I agree with Mr. G. Bennett, says that they really need to bring down their costs and that there will be more issues coming up. And yes, I agree. I'm sure there's going to be other things. But the cost of that battery pack is pretty important right now to get that down. So there we see the fuel cell, the hydrogen truck right there. And that is up on a very low trailer, as you can see. I'm not sure how they raise those things up, but I know that they have their methods. But they're definitely loading that thing up and then tying it down. And looking around, we can see we've got a fuel cell truck right here. And look at that. I'm going to pause that there. You guys see what I see, right? We have a different nose on that. So that looks like something that's been done for better aerodynamics, but it looks like we have a different windshield. Looks like we have a different front end. All of this looks different. Let's compare this to another truck real quick. It's not a dramatic change for aerodynamic purposes, but there is definitely a change there. But you can see how flat these are, and they come straight down to the hood line. You see this one right here comes straight down. Well, not straight down, but the windshield comes down, and then the hood is straight down. And now over here, I mean, it's possible that could be the same hood, but or roof. I'm sorry, windshield. But I'm not so sure about that. So there's definitely some differences in there. What do you guys think about this? I want to see something in the comments. I got some spooky things going on behind me. And I've got that mosquito's back. So if you see me hit the side of my face, it's because that mosquito's buzzing in my ear. It's probably going to land on my nose or something. So there's another look at that fuel cell truck. And also we've got some things on the back there. Another couple things to note. Let's go back in. I didn't see this before. We've got that bar going across, and we've got these two cylinder objects strapped down on the back of it. Not sure what that is all about. So that's fuel cell number 3, I think. And then we've got another one right here. There's truck number 11, it says. It's got an 11 on it. That one's at the fueling station. And then we're going to go take a spin around and look on the other side. JJ says Gamma. It could be the Gamma. Could be the Gamma model pilot. Yes. I just think that there needs to, I mean, I don't really know. I'm not an aerodynamics expert, but I would have thought that there would be more of a nose on it. Over here, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 FCEVs, 6, all lined up over here. And let's take a closer look. And we see they've got this giant, almost refrigerator-looking thing on the back. Here's another one with that. We've got the pink hydrogen truck right here. This one's got a number 1 on it. This one has a 9 on it. The white ones don't have numbers. But we saw 11, so we know 11 is out there. So they've made at least 11. So quite a few hydrogen fuel trucks out there right now, and that must be what they're working on. I know that it's important. That is going to be their main source of income. It's going to probably do them a whole lot better as far as profit-wise than the battery trucks. They use less battery packs. They can charge people for refueling once they get the hydrogen stations in place. So there's definitely going to be more money in the hydrogen trucks. So they're a little spin around the campus. And now we're going to take a little fly to the south. Still see we have some frames over here. We've got a lot of materials in these boxes and these crates. So you can see on the top side of the screen, that's where Hauser Road is, and it's still being worked on. Now here we are. We're on the west side. We're looking like northeast right now, and you can see the entire site, and you can see the the difference in the size of the building and how much larger it's going to be. It's quite an expansion right there. We're going to come around the front, and you can look at them side by side. But the width of the factory has pretty much been doubled right here. So these are about the same width. These pieces of plastic right there, those are going to be for the skylights that they use, and those will be put in next. That's typically how they've done it. Down on the bottom right, that's the rubber membrane that goes up on the roof. In case you guys ever missed it when I mentioned it, apparently that stuff's on back order. Takes over a year. So that stuff started coming in a month or so ago, and they've been stacking it up there. Daniel asked if there's any chance that we could check out their new property. Um, that new property is way on the other side of town, and right now there won't be much to see there because there's just desert. So if we go out there, it's not going to be for a little bit. I paused it right here because we got a nice low angle, and we took a look inside the factory and taking a look at what we can see, and we can see like these first couple of sections now have concrete on it. So they've gotten the concrete done, which is great. That's progress. Um, and they're already working on the walls, and they've got all the steel up. So this is moving along quite nicely. So once they get the walls up, and you can see a roller up there, he's probably just flattening out the dirt. They don't run that over the concrete, but that's just prepping for more concrete. You can see there's also some wood laying around on its side, so it looks like they may be getting some forms set up so that they can put down some more concrete. Got some wind here shaking the building. It's kind of weird. Um, then we've got some crates up here. Those probably actually have those are the frame. Those might be the frames for the skylights, right there. Over here, this is going to be a utility closet. More than likely, this will be built up with concrete block like the other side when they put in theirs. And there's another section up there, right on the north end. These are going to be docks right here. You can see the openings. You can see how the concrete's not built up. And then a ramp to go actually drive a truck in or out, like they have on the other side. Some more docks are over here. You can see them outlined. This is the other utility room. Also will probably be built up with block. You see the metal decking is all laid out, and that's why there's no more cranes. They won't need a crane here except to load up like the roofing material, like the rubber membrane and other parts of the roof that they use, but they won't need any large cranes for a while. Eventually they'll need to put the AC units up there. As we go over to the test track, you can see there's 6 or 7 more trucks. There's a couple mobile charging trailers over there. You can see them in blue, pretty clear. And now we're going to take a closer look. Those almost look like they're ready to be hauled off and taken somewhere. Nice brand new Big Tex trailers that they're on also. Sarah asks how long before the battery pack situation is resolved. We don't know. Obviously, we're hoping for as soon as possible. I've heard they've put someone in charge of it that knows what he's doing. So hopefully that happens real quick. So IDAR says battery trucks are not sustainable. Fuel cell and hydrogen are. So trucks with batteries will be a supplement only in the long run, he believes. Just keep in mind that all these hydrogen trucks have battery packs. They still run on electric motors. Changing Frame says that the battery pack situation won't be resolved until the second half of 2023. Well, I'm really hoping for sooner than that, because that's at least 8 months away, at least. And I would like to see that taken care of a whole lot sooner. It's really necessary to get things back in order, the order that we need it, which is production. Nido says, why you don't sound excited like before? If you're referring to me, it's because I want to see this battery pack situation taken care of. So, Goldman Sachs does play a double game, because not only were they buying, but they were also putting out articles recommending against Nikola because of their large cash burn. Which, for a startup company, I don't think it's quite as bad as something to be freaked out about. Mr. Bogue says the fuel cells only use 2 battery packs. That is correct. They use 2 battery packs as opposed to 9 for the battery electric. So they will still need the battery packs, and if the costs are brought down, it'll help on the fuel cell. But they can't push the fuel cell too quickly because there's no infrastructure for them to charge or refill with hydrogen. Just like there isn't enough infrastructure for the battery electric to be put out there right now, because of the fact that they don't have a place to charge. These are large battery packs. Even a supercharger, a 250 kilowatt supercharger is still going to take 2 hours to charge one of these packs. That's the Nikola estimation. So, and that's still a long time. So we're going to go ahead and bring this back to the beginning for you guys who showed up late. Deep says, every time Goldman buys something, I sell. Oh, yes. There's people out there that whenever I buy, I should sell, because I'm the worst at picking stocks. The worst. Tom V says, Mark Russell just keeps selling and selling his stock options. What's that all about? There could be 1,000 reasons why Mark Russell is selling his stock, and we don't know any one of them. Of course, there's always maybe he thinks it's going to go to nothing. Yeah, that's possible. Anything's possible. But you don't know anyone's personal business, and you don't know why they need to sell stock. And that applies to everybody. And whenever a CEO or some high executive sells, it could be for nefarious reasons, or it could be for anything. It could be for any particular reason. Josu asks, why the shortage of battery packs? It's not necessarily a shortage. It's just that the company Romeo Power that was making them was a little devious in their explanation of the cost for them. And apparently they cost a whole lot more than anyone had thought, and to a point where it's excessive, very excessive. So they now have to find out a way to make the cost cheaper, because the margin on the trucks are approaching negative 200% with the battery packs at the price that they're at. So they need to, from my understanding, they need to redo the castings on the battery packs to bring down the cost, and they can bring them down 80 to 85% for the cost of the battery packs. So that's what they're currently working on. Glenn, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Prez, why is Elon selling Tesla shares? You know what? Who cares? Just like I said about Mark, there could be 1,000 reasons. Elon's going to sell Tesla shares because he obviously wants to buy something. He, I, I don't think he's bailing on the company. I think he needs cash for whatever he's trying to put that into. Maybe he's got to put it in Twitter to hire some people who will work more than 10 hours a week. I don't know. Or maybe he's making them a new break room, so he needs money. Charlie Fox says, funny to listen to hydrogen discussions. I'm inside a development team, and everything I hear in my industry I don't buy as valid. The cost structure just doesn't work, in his opinion. The cost structure on the hydrogen, or you're in a development team for what? I'm kind of a little out of that question. I'm not sure which is the part that doesn't work. Daniel says he believes that Mark Russell is being pushed out. I heard something about that Mark Russell is being replaced because they want someone who's not as nice as Mark, someone who's more willing to push these people on production and on getting things done quicker. I don't know if that's true because you hear things and you don't know what's true and what's not. So who knows? Companies not making money are going to have a rough 23. That is for sure. I would agree with that. That's more than likely. A lot of companies are going to have problems. I think companies like Nikola and Lucid, though, they've got so much potential that it's not going to be as easy for them to just fail. Like Faraday Future, they're going to fail. There's a lot of EV startups that haven't really gotten anywhere and haven't really produced anything. I mean, right there you can see Nikola has produced something. They've got a viable product. Now they need to get the cost down to make it a saleable product. Doug says there was an article out saying Nikola let him go because he was selling his shares, and the new CEO is now running the show. Who knows? You know what? There's always conjecture. Elon Musk is an alien hybrid from some other planet. No, he's from South Africa. Mark Zuckerberg, he is an alien hybrid from some other planet. You were close. Wrong CEO though. But yeah, he's uh, Elon Musk, the most successful African American there is, right? Mark said he keeps selling to January. Okay. ChargePoint deal. Yes, there was a deal with ChargePoint to help. There was not much information about it, but ChargePoint and Nikola are going to be teaming up together to help create charging solutions for the Nikola trucks. Well, we'll have to see what comes of that, and I would hope that it comes fast. That's what I would like to see. I'd like to see something come fast because it's not fast at this point. It's just late. So now we need it fast. Fuel cell being hauled off, not a BEV. Don't you think that's interesting? Oh yeah, it is definitely a fuel cell. Um, it's interesting. Yes, I think they're going to be shipping a lot of these fuel cells off to their different pre-orders for testing purposes. For all we know, they could end up at Anheuser-Busch or one of the other companies that have pre-ordered quite a few of these so that they can start testing them. Battery on fuel cell hydrogen trucks is to collect braking energy and start up the fuel cell and boost of the electric motors. The battery on a fuel cell is quite a bit smaller compared to the BEV. Yes, we're talking about a difference of 9 packs to 2 packs. Is the truck at the charging station as 2 axle trucks? It looks like a short truck. Let's go back and take a look. We can do that. Let's go back. That does look like a short truck. Oh yeah, that is. Look at that. That is a single axle truck. How is it that this is the second time you guys are going through this, and the third time I'm going through it, and this is the first time somebody notices this? That is definitely a single axle. You guys stop looking at me. Pay attention. Please, please. Det Prez, thank you for the super chat. Cheer up, Bear. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. Thanksgiving is always the worst time of year for me because my birthday's usually like right on or after Thanksgiving, and I don't like getting a year older, just like 1 year closer to death. But yeah, it's my birthday coming up. So I used to get turkey ice cream cakes for my birthday. They were shaped like a turkey, but they're ice cream. They weren't turkey flavored ice cream cakes. That would be disgusting. So anyway, it's depressing. If BEV's so expensive, they should at least now as an entire package. The Chargers sell them after a few years, or they claim million-mile range, or what do you think could help get back costs? It's an idea. Changing frames. Oh my goodness, thank you. Oh, that is nice. I appreciate the super chat. It's the biggest one today. Give thumbs up. Appreciate that. Let's see. A-Track says, I saw Polestar today in South California. Do you think they will survive 2023? I think Polestar is going to do really well. Polestar is, I think they're going to do 50,000 units this year. I know that's nothing compared to others, Tesla, obviously. But yeah, they're doing really well. And I'll tell you, I still like my Teslas better, but I like the Polestar better than the Hyundai Ioniq 5. The Ioniq 5 is a cluster F of utmost proportions. There's just too much going on. The Polestar, there's too little going on. And the entry-level models, the material is awful. And it has a transmission tunnel for no apparent reason, amongst other problems that I have with the car. But I still like it better than the Hyundai. Though I feel like the Hyundai's more solidly built than the... Hell no, the Polestar's pretty solid also, to be honest with you. But the Hyundai has just too much going on. If you want to walk into a kaleidoscope and try and drive, that's what it's like. There's just too much going on. Have they finalized a standard for high volume hydrogen fueling? They have not. And if they have, they certainly haven't announced it, but they're going for 700 bar, and they are working with other companies trying to get a standard going. The cost of replacing the hydrogen tank is going to be astronomical. What hydrogen tank are we talking about? On the trucks? Why would they need to replace it? If there was a failure or an accident? If you could break that down a little bit more. Let's see. John says, Bear, does a single axle make more sense for a port use? It can, because you've got a better turning radius on it, but I don't know how it affects its lifting or towing capacity and how much weight you can put on that axle. So you put a second, if you've got an axle that can support 15,000 pounds and then you have two axles that can support 15,000, now you're at 30,000 pounds. So if you have one axle, you've greatly reduced your load capacity. But if you don't need it, then you don't need it. Deep said, I would think cube trucks would be good. Yeah, it's very possible that this technology could easily be turned into something for a box truck or a cube truck, as Deeps likes to call it, a cube. They're called both. Single axle are a European version. And they could also, that is a shorter truck, which is something that's needed more in Europe than here. Changing Frame says, that's my give thanks to someone who helps us a lot with all that Barry does. Thank you. I still appreciate the super chat. Some of the FCV have bigger hydrogen backpacks, maybe bigger H2 hydrogen tanks for more range. I mean, we've obviously seen like three or four of the trucks have a bigger backpack. Why they do, I still don't know, because I don't know if they would actually raise the tanks up into the air. I don't know any of the engineering behind that and whether that's something that you should or should not do if there's issues with having them, because I know down below they're protected with a steel cage of some sort in case somebody was to run into them, because that wouldn't be that hard to happen. And they're also somewhat bulletproof, as was described in the Sandy Monroe visit to Nikola. So I don't know if that's something that they can do to put more tanks up there, or if there's just something else going on. The single axle could also be used for a yard dog moving trailers around. Yeah, as long as there's the capacity issue is not a problem. Will the fatality in China from COVID-19 affect EV manufacturing? I'm not up on that, so I don't know what fatality in China we're talking about. Um, so I don't have a comment on that. Ray says, replacement of the tanks on the truck. As far as I know, they have a service life. I may be wrong here. If someone can chime in, the cost of tanks kind of killed CNG vehicles. Okay, so like propane tanks do have a lifespan. Like when I go to fill up my propane tanks for my RV or for my barbecue, they do have a date on them, and after a while they will expire. And places like Home Depot will say we can't fill that tank, and you can swap it out, and they will let you swap it out. You could also get a tank recertified. That I know. Once they've expired, you can get them recertified. These are for propane tanks, not for hydrogen tanks. And these hydrogen tanks are quite different than propane tanks. Propane tanks are just like steel. So I don't know what the certification process is on the hydrogen tanks and how long they last. Daniel says he has a CDL and he would pay Nikola to drive their FCEV. HRX says there is one dead in China from COVID-19. But they were having hundreds of people dying every day, and then nobody died, apparently, to their reporting for a year and a half. I think people are still dying from COVID. If I haven't looked in a long time to see, but I still think that there are people still getting it and dying from it. So the fact that they announced one dead, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. I don't think it's anything that's crazy or anything. Old man says at IAA show last month, Quantron from Germany had a cab over H2 hydrogen truck, 900-mile range, 2 saddle tanks, 1 backpack with 3 tanks. Total storage around 120 kilograms. 900 miles is a good range. Still not what a diesel truck can do, but no diesel truck can be driven its entirety of range without stopping anyway, because you have the human factor. Deep says hydrogen is lighter than helium. It's very hard to store and contain. That is true. Walterman, how long have the SUVs been in testing? I understand Walmart had them and Anheuser-Busch had them for a while now. Anheuser-Busch had the Alphas for more than a year now. All right. Guys, we are approaching 40 minutes and we're going to get ready to wrap this up very, very shortly. We are going to be putting out a Lucid stream a little bit later today. Not a Lucid stream. I'm sorry. A Lucid video, Lucid Flyover. So we're going to have that coming out. in just a little bit. And then we'll also rebroadcast this without me yapping over it. But you guys have already seen it, so I don't think you'll watch it again. That's for other people who don't want to hear me. Anyway, later this week, hopefully sometime after Thanksgiving, we'll get another video. We'll do another flyover of Nikola and Lucid, and we'll get that put up sometime later this week. Just not sure when. So I want to thank everybody for being here, especially JJ, who's disappeared. You know, he's always here for the first 5 minutes and he takes off. But all you guys, I appreciate the super chats. You guys are great. I want you all to have a happy Thanksgiving, safe holidays. If you're going to travel, be safe. And everyone, thanks for